One rainy afternoon in 1979, Lee McDougald was rear-ended by a passing auto. The force of the impact broke his back and resulted in a concussion and numerous internal injuries. After the accident, Lee spent 6 weeks in a rehabilitation center.
I had to learn to walk all over again, so it was a long road back.
This led to a 22-year-long nightmare that included 30 major surgeries to correct complications from the accident.
I would reach points where I thought I had recovered, and because of the internal injuries, there was a vicious cycle going on, reoccurring surgeries that had to be done in my abdomen and in different places.
In the 1980s, Lee developed heart problems, diabetes, and was eventually diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
There were many times that I would lay in bed and have my hand on him, kind of like you do a baby, that I would just feel and make sure he was breathing. A lot of times he would have the tremors in the night, and I would reach over and put my hand on him to try to calm that. A lot of sleepless nights.
In spite of his health challenges, Lee went on a missions trip with his church.
I took a trip to India, and I guess you could say that I was bit by the missionary bug.
For 25 years, Lee ministered to people in 38 countries, including Kenya and Tanzania. Lee saw God perform miracles and longed for the same healing in his own life.
I would pray, lay hands on people, and I'd see God heal them, and then at night I would go and I'd lay my head on my pillow, and I would cry out to God. I'd say, God, why would you not do that? You know, what you did for those people, why won't you do that for me?
In July of 2004, Lee returned from a trip to Kenya and was very weak due to his declining health. He sensed it would be his last trip.
There was a spirit of infirmity that had taken up residence in my life, and the spirit of infirmity has one assignment from Satan himself, and that is to kill us, physically kill us, and destroy us, so we cannot be used of God.
In 2006, Lee's pastor told him about an upcoming conference on healing in Dallas.
We just really had an overwhelming sense that the Lord wanted Lee there. It was just a strong conviction. We knew if we could get him on that plane and get him there, God was going to do something.
I told him, yes, I will go. And after that phone call, it was like Satan released every demon he had in hell to attack me, to keep me from going to that conference.
Lee had another surgery just a week before the conference and began bleeding internally. The night before he was to leave, Lee had a dream that he would be healed. The next day, barely able to walk, Lee got on a plane for Dallas.
Lee really looked like a 90-year-old man who was in poor health. He was stooped over, the tremble in his hand was very pronounced, shuffling along a few steps at a time. We ate at a restaurant in the airport where he had a half a cup of chicken noodle soup, and that was the most he'd eaten in almost a month.
I was at a desperate point in my life at that time. I said, Lord, you have to heal me or kill me. I can't continue on this way.
What we have accepted as the normal Christian life isn't the normal Christian life.
At the conference, Lee heard words that spoke directly to his condition.
Those of you that have had ongoing effects because of an accident, put a hand up.
People were praying for me, and that's when I felt this fire touch me in the top of my head and ran through my body and down through my legs. And I was bent over, and I was able to stand up straight all of a sudden. And my hand that was shaking all of a sudden was not shaking anymore.
What's happening right now? You don't have any more pain. Praise God. Wow. Wow. Bless the Lord. It's over. It's over.
Lee visited his doctor when he returned from the conference.
Parkinson's disease is generally a progressive neurological disorder. I can only say that I have never seen a Parkinson's patient be completely healed as Lee was.
It's been 3 years, and Lee has no signs of the disease that almost took his life. He plans to return to the mission field, and he has one more mountain to climb.
And now that God's healed me, the desire of my heart is to climb to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro and stand on top of Africa and claim the continent of Africa for the Lord and for His kingdom